This news came out a few days ago, and now we're getting pre-access, but I thought I'd talk about it because it's actually a character I really wanted in the game. And that's right, as you can see from the title, we are getting Pinhead finally in Dead by Daylight, one of the major slashers for, well, does Pinhead count as a slasher or something else? It doesn't really does the whole slasher routine, but I digress. He is a horror icon. We do have a horror icon, and yeah, so... Pinhead is finally here, and I actually was one of the characters I was really hoping to get. And he is technically out for like a special thing for PC users, like a PC exclusive. But he will be coming out, I think, next month for everyone, which is cool. I think what they're trying to do is test out like the beta for Pinhead, and maybe like because I've seen like videos of him and the gameplay for Pinhead in Dead by Daylight, and it looks really OP. So I think they're trying to like gauge it for to nerf him a bit. I think that's what they're beta testing Pinhead before like full release. This is a soft opening for him. What do I think of Pinhead being a part of? What do I think of Pinhead being a part of this unit of Dead by Daylight? I think it's really cool. I love how they're implementing his change. Like, instead of grabbing people and throw them over your shoulder, he's, like, using his chains to, like, grab someone and carrying them around like a puppeteer. The chains, like, teleport and actually reach out and grab people. It's very reminiscent of one of their original characters, which is a harpoon gun. Very reminiscent of that. The one thing I will say that is a little disappointing, at least for me, is his memento mori, which the mori is more or less the hooks go into your mouth, and then Totem shows up, grabs you, and sucks you under. I was kind of hoping for a little more. I was really hoping for a little more. Yes, the hooks in the mouth are all reference to the first movie, and the Totem taking someone, that's a clear reference to Hellraiser 3. But the problem is that it just felt like Pinhead's always been like a very gory character, and if you're gonna implement Pinhead, you might as well go all out. Like have like for the memento mori, you just like have him just split someone like just rip off all the skin. A little more Mortal Kombat, but like that's what we know Pinhead for. So I just felt like that was a little too tame. So that was. So that was just kind of my whole, like, the only drawback I have, but he looks really good. He looks really damn good. And now I'm seeing a lot of people say, oh, well, we've run out of guest characters, we've run out of guest slashers, there's no need for any more, we don't need any more guest slashers. And I'm like, motherfucker, Pinhead is right around the corner, and with his movie, I guarantee you at some point, either this month or the next, they are probably going to have Candyman in Dead by Daylight. Mark my words, he is the next big one on the list. And also I love it how in the promotions for Pinhead, when they were going to do Pinhead, they were like hyping it up like on a videotape, and like it really had dropped the clues, and people were thinking, oh, it's Sadako or Samara from The Ring, or it's Springtrap. We find like all the Five Nights at Freddy's people were like, oh my god, Springtrap's finally in the game. Nope, Pinhead. That was clever. That was clever, Dead by Daylight crew. That was very clever to hide that. But yeah, it is. It's Pinhead, and I know everyone's like in denial. Oh, it should have been Springtrap, and they'll never bring in Spring. There's still a chance. Like we've had horror games, and there's still a lot of horror characters you can use. Obviously, you can't use Jason, but Jason Voorhees 2011 and I were talking about this before I did the video. Was that you have characters like, again, Candyman. You have Matthew Cordell from Maniac Cop. You have Chucky. You have Leprechaun. You have a bunch of characters. Like, you could use something really obscure. You could use, like, one of the killer clowns. You could use Pennywise. Pennywise is right there. He's still viable. You could use... you can't use Alien and Predator because that's under Disney and they're not going to be nice. There's still a lot of game... Bendy is also... Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. And who knows? Maybe we could still get Springtrap or Freddy Fazbear or one of the other characters in the game. So, yeah, there's still a lot of... The two... Obviously, they use Nemesis and Pyramid Head, but there's still Tyrant. There's still Mr. X you could go back to. You could still use him. There's also, like... with Dead Space coming back in the remake, you could have a Screamer. You could have one of the Necromorphs. Yeah, I know they're called... There's the name Screamers, but also there's Necromorphs. So you could use one of the Necromorphs from the game, from Dead Space, and even have Isaac as a survivor. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Like, having Isaac as... You know, we could have more survivor guest characters, and Isaac would be great. So, yeah. There's still a lot of characters on the table. But Pinhead right now, having him here, is really cool. And how they're utilizing him in his chains and the Lament configuration is awesome. I love it. And I can't wait to see what other characters are out there. So you guys tell me in the comments below. What are you excited to have Pinhead in the game finally? And what other slashers are you hoping to see next? Just comment below, let me know. I know Pinhead was big, so I'm hoping to get a lot of you got some big reception here. So once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse, and I will see you next time in the Multiverse.